garage. Like, absolute insanity by that man. But cameraman is going to place another Valkyrie camera inside of the garage, prepping for another late flank. This is going to be the third time that they have played this site, ladies and gentlemen.
Third time.
Possibly the charm?
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to, yeah. I thought,
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I just wasn't expecting that.
He's going to choke me out my sleep later, ladies and gents. It's going to happen.
No, but we will see FaZe Clan, of course, as you were mentioning, attempting this site for their third time, and hopefully, as you mentioned, third time will be the charm for them. The first time is also the charm as well, so we're able to take that. But now Fnatic is also looking to charm their way into the playoffs if they're able to shut down this last final round and take out FaZe Clan, sending them into the lower bracket and sending Fnatic into the playoff bracket.
Fnatic has had quite a run so far this invitational. They look so good right now. Just their information game. I know I keep harping on it. I know I do. But it is very hard to get your team down to where information gets fed so fluently and you execute so well. It's a very hard thing to pull off, but Fnatic has continued to use these very intricate ways of executing onto site. It's worked out beautifully.
Got the drone action going on early on here for Fnatic, as they're just once again going to go through that same route. Take control of square, pop these hatches, then slowly move your way down the server steps. Same way this round usually ends up playing out, and I see no reason why this one would be any different. However, the Mav flank from Magnet, there's a large possibility that we would see that happen again, given what it did in the last one, especially if they can make use of it earlier on and actually split the defenses when they're trying to push in. I feel like it could also have effectiveness there, even if it's done at a much earlier point in the round. Obviously, he's going to be very careful with how he handles that aggression, as he could very easily find himself eliminated if they decide to fully focus on him. But still, properly pushed aggression just might be what's needed to open up a hole for Fnatic to find a plan.
Watching over the exact same round, practically, as you will see Maggot burn the ADS inside of the hallway. Stun grenades now starting to come out from Aces as well. Just trying to get as much utility usage onto site as possible, trying to get them to burn out these toxic babes. Now, main thing here for Fnatic is do not get overzealous. You do not want to get too confident to the point that you overplay. You don't want to overextend your team. You want to play for the plant, just like you've done these last couple of rounds. As soon as you get that off, get those frags going. As they will pop, I believe the last toxic babe right now, 18 seconds left on the clock. This Nitro cells will be the biggest thing right now, but Magnet's going to be able to find cameraman. There's only going to be 2 Nitro cells left. It's going to be Yuna as well as Mav, and Rizraz as well as Magnet are going to have to try and find these operators.
It's not going to work out too well, though, because they're executing at too low of a time. They'll get themselves to the inside. Astro's already with 2, a third, and Moringa picks up the final kill. FaZe Clan, shut it down and send us into overtime.
Would you have it any other way?
No.
I mean, really? Really? Yeah. What a way to start the day. Honestly, I was kind of scared initially on border. I was like, oh, come on. Like, Ace Dream was so far ahead yesterday, and we're going to do it again? No, no, not again. Oh, man. But overtime for our second match of the day. And if there's 2 things that are a takeaway from this, FaZe and Fnatic can both play Bank very well. And secondly, FaZe is not afraid of a comeback.
We knew that to be the case for FaZe already. Obviously, they have a pretty good record on this map, actually. But for Fnatic, it was a map that they had, for the most part, banned out entirely. 5 bans in recent history for them. Only one other map has more bans than that in Fnatic's pool, and that would have been Villa at 6 bans. So definitely one that they generally have been avoiding up until this event. They brought it into the play now, but the problem is, because it's also a strong map for FaZe, they've really had to go the distance with it, including into OT, where once again, we've got 2 strong leaders on either team. It's Magnet and Virtue for Fnatic. On the FaZe side, we have Astro, another player as well. Also into the double digits this point, Matt. Thank you.
Definitely showing out for both of their teams respectively. And it looks like FaZe is going to be confident in the basement hold once again. This will be 4 times times that they have played this site so far on Bank. So definitely going to be their most prominent hold. You know, later on, if this doesn't work out, this is definitely going to be something they look back on and go, we might have wanted to go somewhere else. But they do have 2 defensive rounds. Again, we are not on the infinite overtime rules just yet. That's not until main stage. But right now, it is more or less one person will get 2 defensive rounds, the other one will get 2 offensive rounds. So it just works out on who gets what.
So pressure on to Fnatic. It's going to close this down here and win at least 1 of their 2 attacking rounds. They're going to have to go for it here. For FaZe, obviously, especially assuming if they are able to hold the basement, they're going to be feeling much better off if they'll get that early lead for themselves and the potential to push this to something like an 8-7. Even if they end up losing their 1 attacking round coming up after this. Slow start again, though, for Fnatic. As we've kind of come to expect, they're not going to be too scared to move in and take the upstairs control, since there's very little reason to suspect there would be much action here for FaZe. Besides maybe 1 to 2 roamers, so they're just going to be careful to make sure they drone it out before moving in, but they will indeed take control of that and the first floor relatively quickly.
We actually had a shift over to Adokabi inside of Fnatic. A little bit more help on the site execute. She's going to be able to provide logic bombs, which rings everybody's phones for an endless amount of time until you answer. You have to answer Adokabi's call.
I like this decision too, because it definitely seems like there was some issues with Fnatic of actually trying to figure out where the last few players for FaZe Clan were, especially inside of the middle hallway between the 2 sites that leads up the gold bars. That's really been the struggle point for Fnatic, is being able to knock those players that are holding in there out. And I think that the Magnet flank, if we see that again, in addition to the Dokkaebi active, is certainly going to help that case to a pretty large degree. See, this is where he would start the run towards the flank now, and I think that's exactly what he's going to do. Now that he's popped up in the second hatch.
Well, yet another thing, they are just taking their time trying to see if FaZe has made any adjustments on their end of things, but they really haven't. Things seem to be more of just the same. Mav is going to pick up the pulse once again. They did adjust him off for just a little bit on this downstairs site, but they were going to bring it back. They had him in the last round. The round that they actually lost was the round that they didn't have the pulse, so definitely something that they want to keep up, just due to the fact that he has that instant information where they are. Smoke grenade in. Brizraz actually thought that smoke grenade got ADS, but was actually something else. Nade going to come out. It's actually going to find Cameraman. That's going to be the Valkyrie. No more Nitro Cell on her, but I believe it was actually her Nitro Cell that was used. And I believe that the nade might have just caught. Speaking of catching, Mav going to go down vertical. Excuse me, Virtue going to be able to find him as well as another down. Yuna is going to be able to get picked back up, though. Marenga has quite a bit of damage done to him as well. Virtue going to try and end his life as Diffuser will go down. And Lusty working his way to the back. He's taking his time. He's going to be able to find his initial kill. Marenga going to go down as it is now a 2v5. Yuna going to get found by Magnets. It's all left up to Astro on the flank. He's locked down on square stairs. And Magnet will be able to clean that one up, as they are once again staring down the barrel of match point. FaZe has to win 2 rounds in a row to bring this back.
What a nice adjustment there from Fnatic as well. The quick switch over to the Dokkaebi, as well as just the general strategy switch from them, worked out pretty much flawless. It was night and day difference, but they were really struggling just to get to the inside of CCTV.